This is Black and Alive, an IG Live interview series presented by 28 Shades of Black Magic. We have Jael here, who is one of our features this year. So please introduce yourself and tell us about all that you do.
I'm Jael. I am from Brooklyn. I am 27 years old. I'm a Black woman, as you can see, a child of immigrants, Haitian immigrants, and my background is in politics, communications. I'm also an artist, a poet. That's how I met Kearah. For young teenagers taking over the New York City poetry scene. And so I started this project to really connect folks back to what's going on the island, so that we stay connected and want to be engaged. And also we could feel prideful about where we came from. So, yeah.
What's the name of the project?
Prosperando or Some. So it's Spanish and French. Well, Spanish and Creole. So Prosperando meaning thriving and Some meaning together. So I just, made that into the title. And because originally I called it Thriving Hispaniola, right? And then through my research, I found out like Hispaniola is actually like a whitewashed term of the island, right? So a lot of people don't know that. So the original name for the island was IET, right? The people at the time, called it IET, like Hayitii.
Yeah.
Hayitii, IET, right? But of course, there has been like anti-Blackness sentiments on the island, and so the name for the island got whitewashed over time. So now people know as Hispaniola, right? So once I found that out, I was like, okay, that didn't sit right with me. So I was like, okay, let me think of a different name for this project, and that's how I came up with Prosperando or Some. And a lot of my, some of my events had to come to a halt because of the pandemic. But before the pandemic started, I had get-togethers with Haitians and Dominicans who wanted to, be a part of the efforts. Like, okay, what do I need to learn, right? Like, because I think that's a big piece, learning. Like, really learn before you step in, right? And don't assume that people are not already doing the work, right? So that was a big piece. So a lot of these get-togethers was to learn about each other and what is these biases that we have, these prejudices that we have towards each other, and like have this conversation now so our grandkids don't have to have this conversation. That's really the key of it, right? So so it's like I'm like in a weird space. Like there's so much I want to do, but it's so overwhelming that I don't want to do any of it, if that makes sense.
No, it's totally like I totally understand where you're coming from. But did you make like an Instagram page for that? Do you want to tell us, or a website?
I did. So what I did was I had made a Facebook group. I made an Instagram page, but I left it alone until I was ready to create content for it. But so on Instagram, it is called Prosperando or Some. I could write down the title. Give me a second, because this is actually my first time going on Instagram Live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I will tell you the title of it once also, I don't want to spell it wrong either. Oh, yeah. And I can't even spell check. Okay, I wrote it, but it may be wrong. It may be a typo, but I'll let you know.
Right. Well, let's make sure to copy that, and then when I repost this later, I could share it with the proper spelling.
Got it.
But
yes, go ahead.
What are some other like organizations or projects or initiatives that you've been helping, that you've been like vocal about or a part of, especially considering this movement right now?
Right. So what I have been doing. So one, I've been reading a lot about what it means to defund the police or abolish the police, because I personally didn't understand how that could work. Like, what would the community look like if we didn't have police? Like, how would, X, Y, and Z get done?
Yeah.
And so I've been reading a lot upon these materials. I should have made a list of these names. I don't remember, but I know I signed many petitions. I read many articles. I've, had conversations with folks who are activists in these kind of topics.
Nice.
I also wrote letters to city officials. And I know that I think the mayor announced, mentioned like, hey, like they sent a letter like, hey, we got your letter. This is our plan of, decreasing funding for NYPD. I think their budget is like over $1 billion and so on. Right. And and I was like, wow, I didn't know we spend that much on the police.
Right.
Dang. I was like, $1 billion. Where did y'all get $1 billion from? Oh man. So I had to laugh for a moment. So yes, I've been writing letters to city officials and researching. I really wanted to understand what it means. So now I'm starting to understand it. I'm not fully there yet, and I think it will take some more learning to do.
What's another question I have? I'm gonna ask people what's their favorite song or what's their favorite blackity black ass anthem. Your I'm Black and I'm Proud or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm Black and I'm Proud. Well, honestly, I have so many. I'm trying to think of an English one. Cause there's one. Let me make sure I get the name right. Cause I'll share two of my favorites. I'm Black and I'm Proud. So there's one that's from Haiti, right? And it came out in the 90s, and it's by a rah-rah band. Rah-rah meaning a form of music that's like done for like protesting or social causes, and they use drums and horns and all of that. And it's called Kempa Sote, which means, my soul is not scared, I'm not scared. So that's a very popular song in Haiti, which is very like black and like prideful. And then another song, which I was bumping to today actually, My Umi Says by Mos Def, right? I just love that song, especially the part where he goes, I want my black people to be free, like that part. Like I just love that part. Yeah. So those two songs.
Nice. I'm definitely have to look up that Haitian song. I haven't heard it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, and you can include it in your description. Yeah. So even though it's not in English, it's in Creole, but the drumming, the beats, the chanting, the voices, like it's like you feel like, okay, this is Black Pride. Mm-hmm. Like you may not know what they're saying, but you will get it.
Right. Okay. Cool. So I think that kind of wraps up the interview. These have been going really quickly. Is there anything else you want to share, you want to say to the people?
Yeah, I think one last thing, because this is something I've been checking in on myself as well. Yes, I want Black people to be free, to be part of the bigger family, which is, the whole human race. And so I think two things that I usually tell folks that I want them to keep in mind is like, one, I think it will take a higher being upon us to help us fix this actual problem. Mm-hmm. And two, yes, I'm a Black woman, but I'm also a human being, right? And so, and I think it was something that you mentioned, right? Like, it didn't have to be, like, I don't need to have a Black brother to care about this issue.
Right.
Right? Like, because I have a Black son. It doesn't even matter if I have a Black son, a Black daughter, or that fact that I'm Black. It's the fact that a human being actually had to go through this. Like, that's enough to, like, give me pause. That should be enough to give me pause. Right. And I think once we get to that, once we evolve to that part, it will make a total radical shift. Mm-hmm. Like, this is not what you do to a fellow human being, period.
Exactly. Yeah. People just gotta realize it's their problem too. This is a global problem.
Right, and that's another thing. Allies, the whole idea of being an ally, of being a partner in this, like, I think I'm over the term ally at this point. It's like, I don't need you to be an ally. I just need you to be a human being. That's it. Like, I don't need you to be like, yes, I see you, Black woman. It's like, okay, you see me, period. Okay, you see me, period. And so you know that this is wrong and that we should address it. Like, exactly. Let's not overcomplicate it. We really don't have to. But yeah.
Right. Exactly. That was beautifully put. Thank you so much. I'll wrap it up right here. Could you share with us your Instagram page once again?
Yes. So my Instagram page is love_JAYEL. So LOVE_JAYEL. And I'm Jael. Yes.
Nice. Thank you so much. Thank you to
Thank you
everyone
for
who
having me.
tuned in. Oh, we got confirmation that you did spell the Instagram page right.
Okay. I haven't even been looking at the comments. Thank you.